The big idea is that in the spirit of Plato's Academy, we engage multidisciplinary learning. And Socrates actually is said to have wrestled with people physically first before he would wrestle with them philosophically. So the big idea, as we know, is that leaders embody leadership presence, executive presence. So Fridays on the Mat is a time to get together and get on the mat and actually engage real martial arts training. And the promise that I have for that martial arts training is that it's part Eastern art, so it's studying form and with mindfulness and with deliberate practice, and part Western sport. So getting to play and experiment and have a quality of aliveness and functionality. Now, of course, on the mat is important, and you guys remember from year one in the Integral Leadership Program that we talk about being centered. That's the first step towards embodying a leadership presence. So we learned recalibration. Being on the mat is specifically that opportunity to learn to be centered. Of course, we know it's easy to be centered when we're in our favorite yoga class, we're on a peaceful retreat, but can you be centered amidst disturbance? This is really the first teaching that we bring to Fridays on the Mat. And martial arts act as that productive distress that allow us to stay centered in the midst of conflict, the eye of the hurricane. So from there, then we can start learning to redirect energy. And of course, this then transfers off of the mat. If you're used to breathing through a productive level of distress on the mat, it takes a little bit more to trigger you each time you get on the mat. And the fight or flight threshold actually raises so that you can be more resilient and centered, calm, conscious, at choice, and skillful off the mat. Now, the second thing, of course, is every martial art is not just a physical practice. It transcends the physical. So whether it's karate do, judo, aikido, that last character do in Chinese is Dao. It means the way or the path. So what that means is it's not just what you're studying physically on the mat, it's the path of development, the inner development off the mat. So very specifically, this is what Socrates knew. This is why he would wrestle with people. It's a form of assessment. So the way you show up on the mat is a metaphor for the way you show up off the mat. So by getting on the mat, this is the very specific takeaway. It's not just the general takeaway of recalibration and redirecting energy. It's how are you showing up? Are you the type of person who likes to push people over, or do you tend to be the pushover? So whatever your typology is, being on the mat will expose you to that. And you can learn more about someone in 20 minutes and become more vulnerable to your conditioned tendencies, your habits in 20 minutes, than you can sometimes taking a pen and paper assessment or talking with someone. So the idea is that whatever your practice is on the mat, however you're showing up on the mat, you'll get to work on that on the mat and then have a practice off of the mat.